Welcome in, everyone. We started. So, welcome to the stream. Sorry about being a bit awkward. Or if I sound rubbish. I'm still trying to work things out here. So, this is going to be a Tour 10 grind. See how it goes. If I can get an opponent. We do get somebody. Heisenberg, I think I've played him before. Right, Gokasho Bay. This hole doesn't really interest me very much. The drive, try and get it as far up there as possible. That's why I like Thorshammer for this hole. 10%. Adjustment there. And then try not to get too close to the rough, but if we're rolling to the rough, it really isn't going to make much difference. The approach to the green is a difficult one. That's not bad. Right, so I'm just trying to get things shared for a few people and get the link out there so that I'm not just literally sitting in here talking to myself at the moment. It is quite late. This is when I tend to play most of my stuff. If anybody does pop on and wants to put something on the chat, that's absolutely fine. I won't introduce myself or anything at the moment because there's no one watching. But, you know, I'll talk a bit more once I think people are actually tuning in. So anyway, this approach is a kind of funny one for me. It seems to play at no elevation whatsoever. Sometimes I've added 10% in the past, kind of offsetting the ball guide there. We're not quite at max club, so not going to quite go 7.2. We're getting into max club there though, so 7.2 might work. The main thing here is hitting perfect, because this approach seems to have a little glitch that means you can't hit perfect. I say that as I hit perfect. It won't go in though. Maybe it will. Okay, that's a good start. I actually almost never eagle that hole. Almost never. I get the sense that he kind of knows he's screwed here. As I said, I can count on one hand the amount of times I've actually made that approach. It's quite a difficult one. But I think I've played Heisenberg before. I think he's quite a good player, so he could make it. It would be a good start to the stream to get a win that easily. Anyway, I had a really sophisticated setup with Streamlabs, but it wasn't really playing ball. My mirroring thing wasn't really working very well, so I've gone back to this Omelette Arcade approach, and it seems to be working a little bit better. I think I need to stick with this, the simple approach. I'd made up a nice background and everything, promoting my clan, the Stink. Riding high in Champions 100 at the moment. We'll see if Heisenberg wants a rematch after that. Oh, he does. Good man. Always quite happy to rematch people. Tour 10's been pretty good the last few while for me. I moved up to Tour 11 for a while last year. I was playing it for about a year. And then with Marlins for a while, doing pretty well. Then they added Jamil Jones and really didn't like it anymore. Lost all my trophies, as you can see, and now grind on Tour 10 and really enjoying it again. Right, this is the kind of send it wind. Really, this hole annoys me a little bit because you actually don't want to put too much topspin on it because you might roll into that bunker on the top right there. And also with this strong headwind, tailwind, sorry, don't really want to put overpower onto it. Hitting perfect's going to be the key again, as always. That's a good start. Oh well. We beat Heisenberg last time. He might get the win this time because that shot out of the bunker, depending on the next wind we get, is, could be tricky. The elevation seems to play really, extremely high out of that bunker if you're landing on the pad in the middle of the little bunker next to the green over there. Anyway, as I was saying, Tour 10, I'm really enjoying it at the moment. My win percentage had dropped a bit when I was grinding Tour 11, and I really don't like spending money on this game, to be honest. I know a lot of people do spend a lot of money, and that's up to them. I don't like spending that much money. I'll buy the odd package, but I tend to stick to these kind of balls if I can. Right, that's a good wind. We'll take that. I play Houdini as well on this tour. I've got Spitfire 6, but the lack of ball guide bothers me. Saying that, the Houdini isn't really doing it here for me. So again, Houdini. See, am I balling this for a wedge? I'll go back about there. Yeah, it's about 1.5 a ring-ish, but this is gonna roll way past the hole. Oh, there, we hit perfect. Great. Maybe it won't roll way past the hole. That'll do. Where did Heisenberg's drive go? See, I'm too concerned with chat and I'm forgetting to look at my opponent's stuff. I want to keep this as kid friendly as possible, so no swearing or anything like that. From me, I'll try my best. I do tend to swear in my head when I'm playing this game, but my 6-year-old son is obsessed with YouTube. Probably wants to be a YouTuber when he grows up. Who doesn't these days? And he's already managed to find my YouTube account. I couldn't even find it when I searched for it. I literally made it yesterday. But my 6-year-old showed me it on his phone today and said, "Look, Dad, I'm going to watch this." So in the morning, he might watch, well, for about 2 minutes and he'll get bored. But he might watch. We may have a future Golf Clash fanatic. Yeah, Heisenberg's managed to get it in the hole with a great ball. Can't blame him. After that last shot, the last hole from me. Again, hopefully he'll want a third game. Right, so in Tour 10, the reason I'm so confident just now is I'm going to be proven wrong in this stream probably now, but I tend to win maybe 5 out of 6 games most times. This hole, a lot of people find the drive a struggle on this one. The key is whether you have headwind or tailwind. Right, so this is a tricky wind. Bit of tailwind, right to left. So I would be tempted to go with a Titan here, but I'm going to stick with the Quasar and see how we do. Heisenberg's going with the Quasar. I wouldn't want it to stick a Titan on if he's going to try that. So what I would do here is probably all but one topspin. It depends, because a slight headwind here. So that's a good shot. It might just go too far though. This is a problem. If you put too much topspin on this drive, you roll into the rough. Now you can still make the green, but it's unlikely in certain winds. So I seem to have more of a tailwind than he did. Right, so I'm not going to put full topspin on. I'll maybe go, we'll see. I'm going to aim to hit about here. So if we put about 5 on, that might be okay. Right. Now you don't want to aim too close to the bunker, but I'm going to play it as close to the bunker as I can get away with here. So it's about 12.5. But I'm not quite adjusting that much overpower slightly. And go with full curl. See where this one ends up. Probably in the sand. Oh no, it's probably going to do the same as Heisenberg's. We got extremely lucky. I'll take that. I will take it. Right, if anyone wants to pop on the chat or anything and send a wee message, that'd be good. Especially some clan mates who if you want to lend me any support. I can see 2 people are watching. Wow. Never thought I'd be streaming to 2 people. Thought I'd be streaming to 0. So that's something at least. Thanks to Tony Richardson. He actually helped me kind of get started with this. I've never really thought about streaming that hard, but the last few while I've thought it'd be nice to give it a go. At least I can tell my kids, I've got 3 kids, at least I can tell them I'm a YouTuber for a day. Give up the day job, maybe not quite. But they were relatively impressed with that prospect when I told them that today. So what can you do? Right, this is I'll beat this one a few times recently, really luckily. So nearly full overpower. You don't want to give full curl here, but the wind is pointing the other way, so that might be okay. Yeah, not bad. See how close you can almost get it for the Albi. If the wind's right, I could have taken off a backspin, but I'm always keen to go with full backspin on that approach, because you don't want it to fly away. So, the way I play this game, I don't use apps, I don't use overlays, I don't use grid lines. I just memorise the ring values, wind from the clubs, and obviously work it out in my head, maths wise, from there. That's how I make all my adjustments. I kind of like doing it naturally and kind of playing by feel that way. So that's how I play the game. It seems to work for me. I've tried Golf Clash Caddy and things, but I don't like the way it interrupts my screen. I'll take 2 of Heisenberg, that'll do that. I'll be fine. Well done, sir. Unlucky. Got really lucky with my drive there. Right, we'll go in again. So as you can see, I'm not short of coins. I've got 8 billion. That's through all the months and months and almost a year and a half of playing Tour 11. That's what that does for you. But I'm not keen on going back to Tour 11 at the moment. I'm in my comfort zone with Tour 10, and I know some people might think I'm sandbagging a little bit by staying in there, but I don't think I'm that good a player. Tour 11, I did quite well on it for a while, but now I've tried to go back in a couple of times. Right, straight headwind on this hole is tricky. Beastie Boz is going the way I will go. I'll always go right side with headwind on this hole. Sometimes I'll pull out a Titan depending on how strong the headwind is. But Beastie Boz is going with a Quasar, so we'll go with a Quasar. I try to stick to Quasars wherever I can. There is quite a nice... When this hole first came up and I was playing it on Tour 9 back in the day, I used to always go right side. I always used to argue with people who went left side and say, oh, right side's the way to go. Obviously left side's the way to go. But in a straight headwind, you're just running that risk of not making it over to that third fairway and getting yourself stuck in the rough. So, again, didn't pay much attention to the adjustment. Just made sure it's going to bounce on the fairway. Hit perfect. That's a good start. And just get as far up there as we can, and hopefully we get a kind of crosswind or tailwind for the second shot, so we can curl the sniper in. So I'm going to aim hit where Beastie Boz is putting his target, kind of left bottom side of that fairway, and I'll curl it over. Beastie Boz seems to know what he's doing anyway. He's playing this quite quickly. Don't know whether he's grinding. This might roll into the rough. No, he's got away with it. It is quite a good approach. Sorry, my voice is probably really annoying. I shouldn't feel the need to keep whittering on all the time, but I feel like people are expecting me to say something and analyse the game, and I do like talking. Right, so I'm not going to put full topspin on because you will roll into that rough at the end, although it's a bit tight. Right, so we'll go 11 and 12 maybe. Push up to max. Right. Beastie Boys put pressure on me there, you know, making that shot. Right, not full curl either. Oh, this could go wrong. No, but we'll probably roll into the rough like I was saying he was going to do. Unlucky. That was close. Now, if I'm this close, what I'm going to try and do is just dunk it. Although I'm sometimes tempted to just go with a straight kind of Nirvana shot from here, because there is a little kind of, it's so close that even if you hit great, which I'm always doing with rough and sand chips constantly, I would say I hit perfect less than 50% of the time on these. You'll see this in action right now. So I would tempted to just put full backspin on and see if I can just chip this one in, because it needs no adjustment. Literally just chipping from here, middle of the hole. We'll see. Now, I need the concentration there. There you go. I hit perfect. Just when I'm telling everybody that I can't hit perfect. A lot of people will sit and watch the needle go backwards and forwards for ages, you know, count to 25 and things like that. Some people leave it until the shot clock's at 2 or 1. What I tend to do is count 4 really quickly and then release. I seem to get a really consistent release with that, and I don't like to change things too much. Right, this is a nightmare of a shootout for me. I hate it, because you've got to get this bounce right, and sometimes I end up... Right, so I'm going to just set up. It's usually about a bar of top spin, but it'll take a wee bit off. Ball guide, not quite going to the hole right. Now it's usually about 1 to 1. Maybe just a little tiny bit over. I've ran into the rough, you know, doing this shot before, so 10.2, it's a little bit over, okay. Need to hit perfect on that one, otherwise it's gonna roll in somewhere. Oh, this is looking okay. It's looking okay. Not bad. David, thanks for popping in. It's very late for you as well. Coming up on 12:30 in Scotland. I think I'll be up till about 2:30 tonight. Very warm. I went to see the Kelpies in Falkirk today. If anyone who lives in Scotland knows what I'm talking about, it was absolutely roasting. My kids all got burned, which my wife blames herself for. She didn't have sun cream with us. I didn't get burned. I've learnt, because when we were on holiday a couple of weeks ago, the top of my head got burned because I've shaved my head in lockdown, which I used to take great pride in my hair. Shave my head for the lockdown look, and I actually quite like it now, but I forgot that you can burn the top of your head if you've got a shaved head and you're out in the sun. So we win that one over Beastie Boys. Fantastic. Let's see if he wants it. No, he does not want a rematch. That's fine. As I said, in Tour 10, you do get quite a lot of people that will rematch you. It's a good tour. It's actually turned into quite a friendly tour. You don't get many emoji spammers on there anymore, which is quite good. Now, for anyone new at the game as well, if you're looking at this shot clock, find an opponent, clock, you don't want to let it run for any more than about 10 seconds, otherwise you might end up facing a replay. At this time of night, you know, sometimes takes a little bit longer. Oh, good old VJ. I've played him many times in this tour. He's quite a good player. So, we have Go Cashel Bay, and we have not a send out wind. Fair enough. 15 miles an hour. Right, so don't give it full top spin with Thor, because I've done that so many times that it's not even funny, and ran it straight into the rough. It doesn't play as a par 5, this one anyway. You can kind of get away with that. 15 miles an hour, that's bloody breezy, as Tony Richardson would say. Right. Okay. Bit of curl. Try and get it in a little bit more. Might be too much curl. If I didn't hit perfect, might have been struggling. Yeah, I probably didn't adjust enough. Find that little pocket. Please don't go in the rough. That's even worse. Right, could be challenging. I'm nothing if not entertaining. I will constantly mess that shot up just to show how this one doesn't play as a par 5. And we have the Houdini as well. We don't have the Spitfire with the top spin. Nice. VJ's probably rubbing his hands in glee. Anyway, he pulled a Katana, didn't he? He's going to Quasar. Nice. People seem to be matching me for Quasar a lot more these days in Tour 10. I've thought about going to Marlins in Tour 10 as well, because they are cheaper balls, obviously. But I've got used to the Power 1 balls for shootouts, that's the problem. You know, I like Marlins in Tour 11 because it put you in driver range in the shootout most times. But I think Power 0 balls in Tour 10 would confuse me too much in the shootouts, and it would leave me between clubs sometimes, between the Goliath and the Sniper a bit too much. Perfect. Sorry, VJ. That's terrible. I hit one of the worst drives you could possibly ever see and end up somehow making it to the green, because this par 5 just plays that way. Right, we'll go. I'm not spending too much time adjusting that because I really don't expect this one to go anywhere near the hole. Okay. Colin, thanks for the shout, putting a voice to the face we see all the time. I really hate to think that I'm some sort of mouthpiece on Golf Clash Elite. Probably. I'm not going to put my actual face onto this. I just don't feel comfortable doing that at the moment. My 6-year-old said I should do a face reveal once I get to 1 million subscribers. He seems to think I'm going to be some sort of YouTube sensation. Ha. You know, great. He really has high aspirations for his dad. Little does he know, I am not going to be a YouTube sensation. The few people who were watching have probably started to think about turning off already because of my inane chatter. Even more inane than my posts on GC Elite. Has VJ sunk the Alba? Oh, he's come very close. I always get paranoid with the camera angles in this game. They always fool you into thinking that your opponent's done something really clever because you're not quite looking at their setup or whatever. Okay, let's see what the shootout's going to be this time. I'm pretty confident on most shootouts in Tour 10. So, it depends what one comes up. Gokasho Bay, they're fine. The only one I'm really struggling with at the moment, and it's the one I seem to be struggling with the most in Tour 10, which is one of the ones I used to like actually, is what we call in the stink Lumpy Bumpy. And anyone who plays Tour 10 will know exactly what shootout hole I mean when I say Lumpy Bumpy. The fairway is full of bumps, and you have to sort of fire your ball over the fringe. Wait till you see it'll come up right now. Colin, you're going to sub me? Thank you very much. I can at least say to my son that I've got 1 subscriber. Now, I like this hole. I set it up exactly the same way every single time I play it. So, blue ring by the rough. Make sure the ball guide's kind of curving away to the left there. Start with what was old money, a bar of side spin to the left. Now, there's slightly left wind, so we'll cope with that. Quite strong headwind, so we'll go 4 bars of top spin. And keep that bar of left spin. Now, 30% max over adjustment. So, that's going to give us... Oh, I'm running out of time. Let's just go 15. Roughly right. I'm pretty close to the hole most times in this shootout, if not a hole in one. Might have put too much topspin on this one, but the headwind was pretty stiff. Not bad. Too far. I'm used to taking a little bit off. Wait to see if VJ will find the funnel, and it'll be gone. If I don't get it within 1.5 yards in this hole, I always think I'm beat. Being entertaining in this streaming thing is not as easy as they make it look. Especially when nobody's talking anyway. So, I've been back in Champions 100 for about... how long has it been? 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. Joined the stink about 5 days into this new season. Quite proud to say I've done nearly 18,000 clan points this season. VJ's done it. Yeah, nearly 18,000 clan points this season, which is a record for me. But I have been on holiday during the summer, so I've had quite a lot of time to play this game, which is probably the main reason why I've got that amount. Getting a little bit better at the expert tournaments as well, which is giving me some more clan points. But, I'll just click to, have a wee look here and just see how I'm doing. So David's at the top, he's absolutely smashing it. There I am, 6th, trying to catch up in Phil and King there. Might do that tonight, who knows. Win percentage is at 54, I'm trying to get it up to 55, I'm very close to that at the moment. So we'll see how it goes. My banners, Colin. Here are my banners, so, proud of that top 10 in expert, but it looks pretty grim from there on in. Couple of early top 10s in rookie, pro. Lots of master banners, but you'll notice some of these ones near the end. 97th. Don't think I bothered playing that weekend round. The sad thing is that I did. But these ones at the top aren't too bad, actually. 40 in the Community Cup, 41 in the Gridiron Tournament. Loads of... I've made every weekend in the mini Masters tournaments. Lots of good, decent expert finishes. That was a good one. Spring Major was 12th. I won't bore you with this. It is really bland. But you can see them in Master fields I've got there. I'm not wanting to hide my feelings. That's why I don't play Masters anymore. Not that I'm scared. Well, yeah, I'm scared. But I'm actually enjoying expert a lot more. There's nothing worse than putting all the effort into a Masters tournament, qualification, opening, use kind of special balls and stuff, which I will do in tournaments, and then you fail to make the weekend, everybody else is playing their tournament and you're stuck twiddling your thumbs trying to grind as much as you can. Right, this Nordic Fjords. I actually think this was, when I first came back to Tour 10, obviously like everyone, I absolutely hated this course with a passion. But I've grown to love it. I really hope they keep it on Tour 10 forever. And I know lots of people will disagree with me with that. People wanting Greenock Point back on this. Nope. No thank you. This is a long par 5, so if we can get a decent drive and keep it on the fairway here, that'll be good. Let's go for Apocalypse. Gives you the most distance. The second shot's tough if you get a headwind to try and get it near the green, but we'll see. Aksu has gone into the rough, so we'll try to avoid following him, although I can't promise anything. So again, adjusting for 12-ish wind for the Apoc. We might get away with that. I don't know if I adjusted enough though. We are going to sneak through. Good. I always get lucky on this hole. That should do. He's in the rough anyway, so might struggle. I like the boats in this course, and how people think if you hit the boats, you can bounce off them. We've all tried it. Then there was the presence on the, was it the Shuruba Springs? Or the Gunberg slopes, one of the two. Yeah. People trying to hit them. I tried it as well, thinking you would get something. So he's made it over. I mean, it's a pity these bushes and things don't actually affect your ball guide. I mean, I'm always thinking, I'm glad they don't when I land behind one, but should be penalised more. Maybe I'm just being harsh. Right. I think this will go over easily. Just put a bit of curl on it. Make sure. Perfect. Good. Yeah, I'll be fine. Oh, it's quite a bad little roll there, I thought. That's the thing about these Nordic Fjords approach shots. Wow, that was mighty close for totally eyeballing that. Yeah, these Nordic Fjords approach shots are always the par 5s, a bit tricky. Bobbly fairways, glitchy rolls. Nothing worse than a glitch roll when you think you've hit a good shot and it goes into Narnia. Right, so There's Schwalma telling me I'm all by myself. Nice. That's true. It is a lonely, lonely game, Golf Clash, at times. Especially when all your family are in bed and you're talking to yourself at the kitchen table. You never know. This could be the start of a beautiful, lonely career. I say this, I'll be back at work in a week and I'll never be able to stream again. There we go. Take the win there. Will he play us again? Hopefully. Just like to rematch people. Oh well. Right. Gem total is low, as you can see. Always the case for me. Buying Quasars all the time to play with. I don't tend to save those gems for club cards, which is why my epics are still at level 6. Can't wait to get the level 7 Epoch, which I'm 40 cards away from at the moment. Keep hoping for some Epoch cards in the Expert Tournament chests, but haven't had any luck with that lately. Here's this hole again. So this time we've got a cross tail and cross headwind. Sorry, why do I keep saying tail when it's not tail? Okay, cross headwind. So this is quite tough again. See, because it's headwind, you'll actually want to aim a wee bit closer to the bunker because the wind's pointing that way, it is still going to push you closer to the bunker when you curl. Tricky one. I think I'll still go full curl and just aim it out a bit. I used to hate this drive. I used to absolutely hate it, but I've found if you just watch the amount of top and backspin you're putting on, you should be okay. Nice shot. Let's put the pressure on me to get it in the fairway. I prefer going first in this hole. If you mess up, then that's it. Your opponent can get overconfident. So, because it's the headwind, we'll maybe go with 5 bars of top spin again. It's kind of standard. If I get tailwind in this hole, I'll go with backspin. Because you want your ball to stop on that fairway and not roll away. Right. Adjust a bit more than usual. Full curl, maybe not quite full. Hit perfect, please. Good. Right. It's not going to make it, is it? Oh yes, it is. Can never tell with the camera angles in this hole whether you're going to make it, whether you're going to roll over the top. Everybody hates these Oasis holes as well, but I really like them. I've been playing them for years because I used to play Golf Clash back when Oasis was on Tour 9, the old Tour 9 before they added Tour 12 to the game. And I think it was Oasis, Glenmorroch Estate and Namhe Cliffs or something on Tour 9. The good old days. Then they moved a couple of those courses up to Tour 10. So I was able to promote myself to Tour 10 when they did the big update a couple of years ago and changed everything and brought clans in and stuff. Which makes me wonder, what were we doing before clans? Why were we grinding? Why were we doing this? Because I remember playing tons and tons of games on Tour 9 and going up and down trophies for no real reason other than just I enjoyed it, I suppose. The Danish Dynasty, they have some good players, really good players. I always know when I get Danish Dynasty coming up that I'm going to get a game. Right, so you want to aim for the kind of middle bottom of this pad. Okay, a bit of overpower, a little bit of curl, maybe the opposite direction. Obviously put a little bit more curl on this one because you've got that wind. Sorry, I'm not really giving very clear advice here, but again, we are very close to making the Albatross, which is probably one of the toughest Albatrosses to make in the game, I would say. Just a little bit less curl, and it might have swerved in. Rapier, Endbringer debate, always coming up. I have Rapier 9, Endbringer 6. So when I got the Rapier 9, I switched to the Rapier 9. I will go back to Endbringer when it gets to level 7. I know people are always talking about, you should use your Endbringer. It's a great club. I know it's a great club. I just think at the moment the stats on the Rapier just work better for me. I'm used to the adjustments. I do like the max topspin. I'll obviously use it sparingly sometimes. I used to miss a lot of wedge shots, but now I think I'm kind of used to the adjustments I need to make for the Rapier. Right, this hole's interesting. It depends on the wind again. Right, so the wind's pointing northwest. So what I'm going to do is set my sniper up on that same island, roughly where Dannyman is. No, he just moved up. Okay, not where he is. There's a certain way I play this hole all the time. You need to watch the amount of back or topspin you're putting on. You want to get close to the top of that green. It's like a kind of bowl shape. You want to get close to the top, near the fringe, and the ball roll back down towards the hole, but you don't want to overdo it. See you later, Colin. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for calling me a solid player. That's the best compliment I've had all day. Right, Dannyman's hit a decent shot here. It depends what part of the green you roll down on as well. 1.5 away from the pin's the kind of standard here. Hard to get below that, but I've got to 0.9 and 8 a few times recently. So here we go, what I tend to do, right, so it's a tailwind, so I'm going to do max plus 10. White ring by the rough, kind of just find a little sticky spot here where, because it's a tailwind, I'll go 1 backspin. It's going the other way as well, so maybe 1.5, 1 and a click. Right, there's a wee sticky bit there, if you see. 0.9. So we'll go 9.8. You dip down a little bit, but it doesn't really make much difference. So don't know what I did there. Now you want ball of curl, especially since it's that kind of wind. We'll see how this one comes out. Any money, this rolls straight up and goes off the green. No? Right, too much backspin. It's not going to come in very well, I don't think. You never know. It's going to be close. I think I've just done it. You know you're screwed in this shootout as soon as you see the kind of camera angle as your ball comes in. If it starts to fly away to the right hand side, you know you're going to end up off the green or on that fringe, miles away. Pin chest. Oh. No. No epics. Not that I expect anything out of those. Trophy count. Obviously I've maxed every tour up to 10. I don't tend to drop below 4,000 trophies ever these days, which is quite good by some people's standards, I suppose. I find myself on kind of 8 and 9 game winning streaks quite a lot in Tour 10. It's just a bit of a comfort zone for me. So when I first joined the Stink, I was playing Tour 11 kind of mainly still. I was down to 53%. I was losing confidence with myself. There's no shame in stepping down a tour. I've kind of proved that that's possible and you don't need to be embarrassed about it. If you feel like you're struggling on a higher tour, step down, try it out. Tour 10's worked out really well for me. I've actually got my win percentage nearly, as I said, to 55% now. I'm quite happy with that. As I said, after 17,000 odd games. The other clan points there, like last season obviously I was in my own clan, I created my own clan which it was going okay, but I felt the lure of Champions 100 again, because I was planning on doing quite a lot of points this season. He's gone for it. With that kind of wind, you're never going to really get to where I got with the last time I played this hole. But if you hit a kind of, there's a little glitchy bit you can hit on the fairway that can take you like a really mad bounce and you can roll out, which is quite nice sometimes. You know, with this kind of wind, I do tend to end up hitting the rough on the right hand side there. So I need to give myself a bit of room. With a hook shot, you've got to give yourself a little bit of room. So yeah, about there. I always go 18 to 19 rings with a POC 6 on a hook shot. We'll go 18 and a half just to be safe. It is a slight headwind. I don't want to go full curl actually, not quite full curl, because you've got this, I'm going right to left wind. Doesn't make much difference if you hit the rough, but as you can see, yeah, that took off, and if I'd managed to keep it on the fairway, less curl was the right way to go there. Right, we'll see. Right, it's Goliath range. I hate the Goliath. I absolutely hate it. But because my B52 is only level 6 and the Grizzly 9, which was my go-to club in Tour 11, doesn't have the distance for some of the shootouts, and with a Power 1 ball in this tour, I have to go with the Goliath. It's the only sensible option. But I just hate the club. Can't stand it. It's got just enough ball guide to make you think and make you feel confident about the way things are going to roll out, but not quite enough. And the adjustments can be funny for it at times as well when it's a level 9. Up until that point it was like 2 miles an hour per ring, but it goes down to 1.9 when it gets to level 9, which you think it'd be good, more accurate, but it isn't really much more accurate, and it just makes the adjustments a little bit trickier as well. Okay, let's see what we can do. Right, okay, so we're about min. We'll set up on the green, right, so that's going to be about 2.45 per ring at that distance. We'll set it about here. Leave ourselves a bit of room. Now, when you're this close, I find this hole plays quite a lot. 20% maybe, actually. That's maybe a bit too much, but we'll go nearly 12 rings. It's 2.4, probably about there. Again, working out the maths in your head. When you hit great, it's not going to help either, is it? It really isn't. That might have been quite close if I hadn't hit great. These Go Cashel Bay approach shots, they do. People talk about glitching all the time, like forced greats and things. I don't really believe in that. I think it's psychological. But on some of the Go Cashel Bay approach shots, you do sometimes feel like that needle's glitching a little bit. Especially like the par 4 hole I got an eagle on right at the start tonight, this morning. I struggled to hit that shot perfect, ever. So we're going to shoot out again, as always. Right, I don't know how long I'm going to stream for. We'll see how I feel. Well, this shootout, okay, this is an interesting one. I keep looking at my computer screen rather than my phone screen. I play on an iPhone XR, by the way, it isn't an iPad. Trying to convince my wife that an iPad Pro would be a good investment purely for Golf Clash. She is less than convinced. Right, this shootout, if it's headwind, I will play up on the fairway next to the green with the sniper and roll it down. So we'll see how that goes. He's trying to play from the right pad, which is pretty risky, I think, with this type of wind as you're adjusting down. But he's done okay. That's going to fly past the hole. Yeah. I think I'll be able to beat that. I should be able to get within 3 yards, hopefully, with any luck. Okay, so 30% over max. See, you've got to try and get your ball guide rolling kind of down here somewhere, but because it's got a bit of headwind, I'll take a bit of backspin off. Give me a bit of room to manoeuvre there. So 30%, so 12, 13.2, 14.4. Okay, 15.6 rings. Right. And then normally go a little tiny little bit of curl, but the wind's pointing down that way, so we'll just leave it at that and see how it goes. Yeah, get it work out, not bad. We'll get there. I think. It's not that close. It's not as close as I would like, but we beat him. See if he goes for a rematch. Well, when people do that, I mean, fair enough. Let's go. Let's open the prison chest. Oh, Thor in the shop. Not that tempting, unfortunately. Right. I'm not close enough to level 7 to even be tempted. Right, we've got to go cat there. Got to. Okay. We'll keep going. I'll keep ploughing on. I'm going for 45 minutes. I'll maybe do an hour or so. I'm playing anyway, I might as well stream it. Okay. Maybe some of my clanmates have been on. The chat's actually been strangely quiet. They're probably worried that I'm going to show the chat. I'm not going to. Don't worry, guys. If you're listening, which you probably aren't. Doesn't seem to be anybody online either just now for an opponent. As I said earlier, I don't like to let the shot clock, the find an opponent clock run for longer than 10 seconds, because you'll inevitably find yourself with replays, which you kind of want to avoid, because they'll do an eagle on a par 5 and a birdie on a par 4, but they'll get the shootout pretty close most of the time. Technically I should be able to beat a replay given how close I get some of the shootouts here. Monkey Spanker, I've played him or her quite a lot lately. Good player, if I remember right. Very few games under their belt, but 1,500 games in Tour 10 with a 59% win percentage, not bad. Obviously, maybe a second account. I actually have about 8 or 9 alts. I like making alts, alt accounts. They're all sitting in a clan that I made up that this main account was in for a while. Oh, that was close to the tree. Sometimes you catch the branches of that tree. I hate the prospect of doing that. In this hole, with headwind, I'll go over onto the right fairway. Always. It's an easy shot. But any sort of tail crosswind, this is really annoying, because you are gonna get quite close to that tree if you're adjusting. Maybe what I'll do is, I don't know, it's a tough one. Maybe need to aim over a bit here and kind of put a bit of curl on or something. Yeah, we'll do that. 15 miles an hour. Tricky. Okay. I find this one plays about almost no elevation. It'll be a bit of curl on to hopefully take us away from that tree. Yep. It might affect the actual landing position of this shot though, which is a bit worrying. Yeah, that's terrible. See, if you worry about trees, you screw yourself. I should just be hitting the shot. So now he might have a chance of this albatross, because if he finds a little sticky spot here, he could get it in. I usually play 15% max adjustment on this shot, but it depends on the wind. There is a little sticky spot there as well. He didn't seem to look for it, but he probably knows where it is, because as I said, he is a good player. I'm assuming it's a he. I don't know. Great ball though. That's another one that seems to, I seem to always hit that shot great. Always. Close. Very close. I normally chat a wee bit to my opponents, but I find myself not doing that. Because I'm doing this. What am I going to do here? Am I going to go in here? We'll go for it. I mean, I don't like it. But then that puts us in Goliath range as well. Oh, I don't like it at all. I just don't like it. Right, it's a dodgy landing spot as well, isn't it? It really is. I'm not a fan of this. But when you screw up the drive, you know, you've got to do the best you can. I never screw that drive up, ever. Okay. At least we hit perfect. And stay on that fairway patch. But we're going to have a Goliath approach to the pin, I think, which is fantastic because we all know how much I love the Goliath as a club. Might get lucky and beat Max Hornet with any luck. Okay. I think Monkey Spanker is going to take this. I don't fancy my chances. I don't normally obviously play from this little island. Where are we looking at? Just probably 10%, maybe 11. 11? Maybe. Is it in the sticky spot over here somewhere? Yeah. But then the Goliath, it's just that ball gate. It's irritating. Highly irritating. Okay. I need to go about there, and then it's 2.5, we'll say. It's going to be 13. Yeah. Just go slightly more than full. See how that goes. People do that thing as well all the time where they pull it to overpower, and apparently it might get the glitchiness out of the needle. See if I sink this with the Goliath now. Oh, no way. Slagging the Goliath off 20 minutes ago. If I'd sunk it there, it would have been my new favourite club. Alas. Monkey Spanker might give us another game, I'm sure. I've played a couple of games with him in the past. Plus the fact that I totally screwed that hole up will really tempt him to give me a rematch. No, Never Back Down. That's the wrong clan name. Okay. I haven't had any of my regular opponents on Tour 10. I suppose it is the one in the morning. Most of the guys I play are probably in bed. Nope. Okay. As usual, at this time of night, sometimes it's tricky to find an opponent. This is very entertaining, isn't it? Sitting and watching a screen spinning. So as I said, I keep saying, never let the screen spin here for longer than about 10 seconds. Because it just means it's the algorithm's trying to find you an opponent. If they can't find an opponent for you, they'll stick a replay in there, which is a game that someone's already played, but they have to have taken the game to shoot out. If you get what I'm saying. So if people don't know about that, then it's something to watch out for. We're getting this hole a lot tonight. Oh, and it's Ascendant Wind. I do quite like it. When it's Ascendant Wind, it's fine. I think I've played Bluto before. I've certainly played a lot of people from the Meet Your Maker clan. Right, this should be... It's not strong enough wind to get to the hole, but it should be nicely on the fairway. You can almost get away with full curl as well, and it's just a straight wind like this on this hole. It would be rude not to hook it, let's put it that way. You can't not hook it when you get that kind of wind. Oh, very close to not making it at all there. See, that's the thing. I should have done more than 18 rings there, because it's the straight tailwind. Your ball's just going to carry further and curl you closer to that rough. These are the things that happen when you're... Oh, he's got a Poc 7. This is going to roll straight up to the hole, isn't it? Good that he's using a Quasar though, and not pulling out a power 17 ball. Sometimes, you don't get that in Tour 10 as much as you do in Tour 11, which is good. Yeah, this is probably going about the same direction as mine. Fair enough. Right, where are we? Good to do this as well. Find the distance. Mid. Okay. See, this is why I have the Houdini in my bag. It's got good ball guide. Accuracy is good. It's the distance you're lacking and the top spin, really. So we'll go about 14 miles an hour. At least in the wind. Max plus 10. About that. That may be way over adjusted. Put a wee bit of counter curl on there as well, because secondary effect's gonna maybe kick in. Well, that's not a bad effort. I'm getting so close to these bunker saves. I've had the Albatross quite a lot on this hole, to be fair. My Albatross count has gone way up since I came into Tour 10. Tour 11, I mean, Albatrosses there are few and far between. The par 5s are, the Parc de Paris, Maple Bay, those par 5s are just hideously long, some of them, and quite difficult to get an Albatross on. But some of the ones in here, you've got that Oasis hole we played 2 minutes ago, really short. This one, you can drive the green with the right wind. The other Cashel Bay, par 5, not the one with the 2 long fairways, the one with the kind of water in the middle. Actually, they've all got water in them, I don't know what I'm talking about. The one that you can play a rough bump on, that's a good opportunity for an Albatross as well. Try to think of the other holes. Nordic Fjords, well, none of those par 5s are good for Albatrosses, but, the Cashel Bay holes definitely give you a good opportunity to get in. I wouldn't say an easy Albatross, but an Albatross. Okay, let's see what shootout we get this time. Haven't had Lumpy Bumpy. Gonna curse myself and get it. This one I like. It depends on the wind, where you set your landing position. You see a lot of people play kind of just at the start of the rough there and do the kind of double bounce rough bump. You also see people doing a straight rough bump. I always go where Bluto's going here, right in the kind of narrow part of the fairway. Now what I'll probably do here is push it a bit further up, probably about where he is, full backspin, full left spin. I will adjust 1-1 -1 normally with a tailwind, like that. Maybe not quite -1. And I'll put probably a similar curl to what he did on. You don't need full curl anywhere near it. See, he's adjusted too much there, I think. He's probably done 1-1 and it takes you back too far. What you need to look for here with a tailwind is, right, so I normally have a bit of the blue ring on the rough, full backspin, full side spin. You need to kind of have I want to say the ball gauge just tickling the green there on the edge of the fringe. That's a horrible word to use. I'll go 11 rings and we'll see what that looks like, right? I just use the take shot button. A lot of people use the ball, but whatever works for you, right? Probably about, just about that amount of curl, because it's a straight tailwind. If it goes to the left slightly, then I'll use a bit more curl than that. That's coming in okay. Yeah. Could have even used slightly less adjustment than I did. Maybe 1-1 -1 would have worked and would have got it in the hole. But I do like that one. My God, how did Bluto end up 8 yards away? I didn't think he was as far away as that. Okay. See, that is one of my favourites. In headwind there, I would set my landing position a bit further back, put less backspin on it, still have the ball guide, tip of the ball guide on the green just past the fringe, but it's going to get more of a rollout. And I would also adjust max plus 10% at least, depending on the strength of the headwind. See, I'm trying to throw some tips in. I played the Mini and Master at the Oasis tournament, and that hole totally screwed with me because I'm used to playing with side spin 2 balls, and I was playing with side spin 3 balls in the Master tournament, and not curling too much, because I think I was still able to use the sniper, at max distance for that. Well, one of my least favourite holes. Everyone hates this one. If we get a headwind, we're screwed. We're going to have to use a Titan, I think. That's not bad. We'll get away with a Quasar with that wind. Now, what you want to avoid doing here is bouncing just past the rough on the second fairway there, because if you hit that little glitch just at the edge of the fairway there, you will roll forever. Max plus 10%. I'll always add a bit of overpower here just to make sure I'm going to get over. Ease off on the top spin, because if you catch a bad roll on the second fairway, you'll go into the rough and it's very difficult to reach the green like our man here's going to maybe do. This is going to go into the rough and he's going to have a bit of a difficult time with the second shot. My main task is just to keep it on that fairway. I don't care how far down I get, as long as it's on that fairway. Right, so I usually set up about here, because it's obviously the part of the fairway that's furthest down. I'm going to go full right, 5 top. Just get past that. Look at that little glitchy roll there. Just get past that. 8.8, go 10, roughly. And then I'm going to go a bit of overpower. Curl to the right as well, just to... Oh, great ball. That might go too far right. I think we're okay. Again, more overpower needed, yeah. Perfect shot, would have gone over easily, but I'll take that. I will take that all day long. See, Titan saved him. Titan has saved him. He rolled far enough down that it's actually okay for him. Still, I don't like this rough bump when you're having a wind as high as that. I'll see how I want to play it. I don't think I'll be able to do the rough bump because I'm not far enough up the fairway. I'll need to do the bounce over, which I've actually made the eagle from that about once in the 1900 times I've played this hole. It's impossible. Well, it's not impossible, but it's very difficult. Right, so he hit great. See, I told you, this is a very, very difficult green to approach when you roll into that rough. Although I've given myself a bit of a situation as well here. Oh, look at that wind. Ridiculous. Okay. This is a bit of a glitchy fairway as well. Right, so we want to make sure we hit the rough quite far up, but not far enough to roll right over. This is rubbish. Right. About here. Max plus 10. Oh, this is going to be messy. If I make the green here, I will be very lucky indeed. With a great ball, I think it's unlikely. Oh well. No. Worse than him. Straight over the top. That's why I hate this hole. With any luck, he'll miss his chip, because I will miss mine. I know I've only had one rough chip in this whole stream and I've hit it, but very rarely. Okay. What's he doing? See, I wouldn't even bother offsetting that much. Maybe he's banking on a great right. Maybe. Seems quite a big offset there. Yeah. He's missed to the left, I'm not surprised. I'm tempted to dunk. Just because, I don't know, we'll see how it looks, how far away it is. I've got the Houdini anyway. Oh, we'll try it. Got that backspin to roll me back almost to the pin anyway, so you're quite close. So when you're dunking, obviously just behind the pin there. I will only adjust minimally. It's not going to go in. Yes, it is. I'm just going to keep saying that because every time I say, oh, I'm not going to go in, I'm not going to hit perfect, I'm doing it. That looked quite impressive. I quite like a dunk when it goes to plan. He's going to be fuming. I think he's annoyed. Nah, I wouldn't want to play me again either after that. Right. We'll keep going with that luck. I don't mind keeping going. Okay. This wind is nasty. Nasty. I don't like it. I always like to go Thor because it's got a bit of ball guide on it. Because you've no idea how many times I've hit that rough on the left in this hole. So I'm going to play it relatively safe. Go up there. Guaranteed I'll hit great left and hit the rough anyway. Right. It's a nasty adjustment. It's a nasty fairway. Perfect will do. See, I like to get as close as I can, and that's pushing it just as much as I probably could have. Yeah. Whoa, his one's worse. I think I played this guy already. Never seen him in my life, and now he's popped up twice. Where's he going? This is brave, because if you undershoot this, you clip the rough and you go into the water. It's happened to me too many times to count. 15.3, and right, I'm tempted to say he's under-adjusted that. Could be wrong. No, he's done okay. Still going in the bunker. See, I've played that shot before, not in straight headwind. I wouldn't advise it. This approach is annoying as well, because I'm going to need to adjust into the bunker now. Oh, and it's so glitchy, look at this fairway. So I either try to sit about there, and then if you hit the wrong bounce, you're screwed. Just usually try to go about here, because it's a decent, consistent sort of landing position, in a sense. Right, but I'll need to offset a little bit, because it's taking that bounce over the bunker, it's quite hefty. Right, 13.7, put 10%, let's go 15, but it's not, we're not at max, so we have to adjust into the bunker, which is quite annoying. And we hit it great, which is typical of Gukasho Bay. Not that I'm blaming a force great or anything, I am not. But if I didn't hit that great, I had a real chance of getting in, as you can see. My adjustments were obviously pretty decent. He's landed lucky with the wind. He's going to need to watch though, this is a bit of a difficult adjustment with this kind of wind. Spitfire's got such a high arc as well that any sand wedge is going to really be affected. And he's going to be dipping down and, well, he's going to be adjusting past this bunker. Maybe not. Right. Fingers crossed it gets there for him. It's not one you're looking to put in the hole anyway. When you make that mistake and you hit that bunker, you're just looking to bounce yourself over. So, yeah. We'll see how many more games I feel like doing on this stream. It's the first time I've ever streamed, so I know I've not had that many people watching, but it feels good to have had a little bit of interaction and to know that someone maybe has been watching the whole time. I don't know who that is. Maybe. Right, maybe do a couple more games after this one. Because my voice is starting to a wee bit hoarse. I don't envy all these streamers who do like kind of 8-9 hour streams. Here we are. Oh, Lumpy Bumpy. Right, I really don't like this one these days. That's a hefty headwind, so I'll always go in this little hump here with a headwind. Now, there is a little roll there, you can get that, it'll go near the hole, but it's hard to avoid the kind of glitchy rolls here. Right, so I'll set up about there, then I'll push up. It's a very big wind, so I will go max plus probably 15 here. I'm going to go about 15 rings nearly, and we'll see how that goes. A bit touch of overpower on it there as well. It's going to come short, but you need to make sure that your ball doesn't end up sitting on that fringe. That's not bad. Could have been better. I knew I was going to get lumpy bumpy soon. This is lumpy bumpy, by the way, just in case anybody's wondering. He's setting up in the same position. Let's see how he sets up. Some people seem to have a way of playing this hole. It's just one of those ones, isn't it? If you know your kind of reference points and where you want your first, second bounce to be landing and stuff. Oh, he didn't even set that up. He just went straight for the kind of offset there without even thinking about it. Either he really knows what he's doing, or he's just banking on the spin he's added being enough. This will go in the hole, watch. You won't have to do much to beat my shot anyway, let's put it that way. This looks okay. I'm going to come in closer, maybe. Have I got away with it? Don't know. Can't remember what I landed at. No. Right, we'll go one more game, and then I'll leave it for tonight. Okay. One more. Been going for an hour and 10 minutes. It's pretty good going. Not had any issues with the Wi-Fi. Right, this is an interesting hole. Always go left side here. Never go right. You'll never ever get any joy on the right hand side. I quite like the double bounce and headwind over the bunker. Oh, this is an interesting chance to show it off, but I'm afraid in my last game here I might have to use a Titan. Depends what Oscarson does here. What's he doing? He's going to need to stick a better ball in that. If he doesn't, he's brave. Yeah. Katana. I would go Titan. Yeah, brave enough. What's he going to do? Is he going to try and just bounce that over? I'm going to stick a Titan on. It's the last game. I don't often play with them, but this kind of massive headwind on this hole calls for it. We'll see if the double bounce works out for me. It usually does. I have a landing spot that I use. It's a very tricky shot, I think. Oh, it's worked out for him. But the problem is he might end up... Oh, he's got away with it. Snuck out the side of the bunker. Don't know if he meant that. I've had my fair share of lucky shots in this stream though, so let's just let him off. We'll go Thor's Hammer because I like the ball guide. Right? Okay. So I'll go full top spin here, because you've got to, compensate for the idea that headwind's going to bring your ball short. Right, so yeah. 10% over. 14. 9. So we need to go with a bit of overpower. Good bit of overpower, to be honest. Some curl. See, I'm usually quite good at this shot. It's gonna mess up, isn't it? No, it's not. But that's a lot closer to the rough than I'd like. Okay. I mean, yeah, bit unlucky. Might get towards the green with that kind of wind. So, season end coming pretty soon, a couple of days, and tournament starting on Monday. I'm going to plan to grind quite a bit next week before I go back to work. The Stink is hoping to get a decent finish in Champions 100 next season. I'll be trying to help out as much with that as I can. It's a good shot, but it's very hard, this approach, as loads of you who played the recent tournament will be aware. You have to kind of rely on a bounce. Is it worth? I don't know. Is it worth doing the slice? It may just mess up for me. Do you know what? We'll try it. So there's your 20 rings. I need to go to 9.5 as well, I just realised. Right. Pull it the opposite way. This is going to mess up big time. I'm going to go nowhere. Unlucky actually. If you get that right, it's a good way of doing max overpower on your Nirvana or a Fire and Sandwich, whatever, without risking hitting a massive good or great or whatever. With the Nirvana's curl, if you do your 20 rings or whatever right, then you can kind of get it almost going straight, which it kind of almost did there. I just didn't adjust enough for the 9.5 wind. There's a little, not a funnel, but nice little roll out to the hole here for me, which is a bit unlucky, and we're not going to have to adjust very much at all from this distance. Okay, so probably just tiny little bit, pray for perfect. Our prayers were answered. Nah, not quite enough. Hate to end it on a loss, but you know, I think that'll do me for tonight. I've done okay. My voice is starting to fail me. Well done, Oscarson. We won't be asking for a rematch this time because I'm going to finish up there. Thanks for tuning in if you did. Hopefully I'll do this again sometime soon.